What do we have at the foundation, please? Eight of Cups, Pisces energy at the foundation of the reading. So I've been getting a lot of downloads in relation to this particular reading that we're going to start digging into now. And some of the phrases that I heard were, the war angels have been released. And I also heard that there's an energy here that doesn't know how to make their way back to you because of how much damage they have done. And this has very much triggered a karmic cycle in their life. It's as if every day of their life is consumed by trying to plan how they're going to make their way back into your life. But they'll never actually find the courage to do this. So instead, they're going to wallow inside this energy. It really is guilt eating them alive. But this is very, very well deserved on their part for all that they've put you through. Now, this is going to range for each and every one of you. But for some of you out there, they took some violent actions towards you. Now, I'm just going to give you guys the most extreme case of what I'm picking up here. And then each one of you can place that accordingly in your own life. Now, what I'm about to say is most definitely not going to be for all of you, and it doesn't have to be, okay? But there are some individuals in the collective that actually dealt with some sort of attempts on their life by family members, by friends, individuals that didn't want to see them up level. I've heard so many things the past 48 hours in relation to this reading. I've heard people being hired to try and track you down. I've heard family members trying to put things in your food and drinks, trying to make you sick. I've, of course, heard a lot of messages surrounding rituals that were done to bring sickness and poverty into your lives. But what I've really started to feel the past couple of full moon cycles is a weight being lifted. Typically speaking, every full moon cycle for the past few years, I find myself battening down the hatches, so to speak, preparing for an energy that I know is going to come my way. It can create an anxious feeling, but more than anything, it's just really frustrating and annoying. But none of these attacks have hit any of you to the full capacity that they were intended to. A little bit of this energy has leaked through just so you can get a taste of what's going on in order to trigger an intuitive awareness surrounding who is doing this. And all of you know on an intuitive level, all of you are 100% spot on. Not a single one of you doesn't know who has been partaking in this. But I found that the last full moon cycle and this full moon cycle, there's been nothing. It's as if the battlefield has been evacuated. See, there's been this energy inside the collective for quite some time where we've all been under attack, but we haven't done anything. We've just been using it as a way to empower ourselves, transmuting this energy to really take control over our lives and step into our power, become the best versions of ourselves we can possibly be. That's where all of our focus has gone. And not only has all of this been noticed by the divine, but a lot of you have completely transformed your lives because of these attacks. But now, as promised, there is this energy of retaliation, right? The war angels have been released. Because you haven't taken this fight into your own hands, but instead fighting for your happiness and for control over your life, you've allowed the divine to now stand up in your favor and fight back for you. The individuals on the opposing force for all of you are under judgment. I've been picking up an energy surrounding some family members that are going through some sort of mental confusion right now. You know, people who partake in any sort of energy manipulation, black magic, spell work, even word witchery, speaking wickedness into people's lives, trying to bring the spirit of madness into other people's auric fields, don't seem to understand that one day they'll wake up and that spirit would have been returned back to them. See, though from our perspective, it takes time for this energy to reverse, and again, it can be very frustrating. Once it does finally hit, it almost feels instantaneous to all parties involved. I feel as though this is what's starting to take place now. That spirit is showing up on all these individuals' front doorsteps. It's sitting on their pillows at night, waiting for them. But in saying all of this, the individuals in the collective that have been doing the work, being very mindful of the steps they're taking and working to improve their life, keeping your nose out of the fight, redirecting that energy back into yourself. See, I always speak about in the readings that we need to fight, right? And what I mean by this is you fight for your happiness, you fight for your purpose, you fight for your own well-being and being able to stand on your own 2 feet in confidence and not allow anybody to push you back down. That's what I mean by fight. You know, we live in a time where we're starting to see so many truths around us, whether it's in our own individual lives, it's in our communities, it's on the world stage, it's happening on all levels. And we need to really focus on what it is we can control, which is ourselves. So in saying that, it's so important that we're doing everything we can to be the absolute best versions of ourselves we can possibly be, so we can show up to this war that we're all fighting in the ethers. It's incredibly important right now that all of you are balancing your health, spirit, mind, and body. All need to be working in tandem right now. Now's the time to be going all in and making sure that you're leaving no stone unturned. Those individuals in the collective that don't understand this and are essentially waiting to be saved will be left behind. We're starting to realize now that in this day and age, we have been sold an idea that someone or something is going to come save us. We haven't really known any better until now, because it's just all a part of the lie that we've been living in, the illusion, the matrix. But the one way that you can always assure that you're going to be okay, if you just work on saving yourself, not waiting on somebody else. That's not a life well lived. We're here to carve out a path for the generations that follow behind us, whether this is in your families, your communities, or it's just an influence you leave behind. This is what it means to live a life of purpose, and that's why we're here. All of us were birthed into this matrix, and, you know, just to be clear, when I speak about the matrix, I'm essentially speaking about the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution is essentially a kind of prison that we all live inside of, and it's to keep us distracted so we can't focus on what matters. We can't focus on our connection with Spirit, the divine, God, source, energy. When we're not able to focus on that connection, it becomes very difficult for us to find our way through these life cycles and make it to our purpose, which leads us to our destiny so we can fulfill our mission. All of our missions has to do with the health of this planet, the collective. When we're able to navigate this life cycle in an energy of purpose, we each play our part and we each fulfill the mission or the contract that we agreed to before we came here. The whole purpose of this opposing energy is to stop this from happening. Even though we are all one inside this universe, we live inside a duality. There's 2 polarities. That duality is best represented by God and Lucifer and the Great Rebellion. And our lives are essentially a kind of vortex. It's a version of that same story playing out over and over and over. And just about every karmic cycle we go through in our lives can also be rooted back to that same story. What do we have? The Sacral Place? Whew. Page of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. A lot of you are stepping into greatness right now, greatness that none of these individuals ever expected from you. These people are choking on their words, picking up an energy of regret here. But they don't regret that they did these things. They regret that they were being watched the entire time by the divine. Rather than try and think about surrendering to the divine and accepting their fate and starting the long road that will be their karma, that is sentenced to them by the judgment angels, these individuals are still trying to devise plans in order to stop you all. An energy of complete delusion and madness is really what it comes down to. But that's the world that they've created for themselves. They've now imprisoned themselves inside that cycle that they meticulously crafted. The events playing over and over and over. And all of these individuals, whether they like it or not, are being given a front row seat to your success, however that may show up for you. They're going to watch you rise. They're going to watch you become what they never, ever thought you would be able to pull off. But interestingly enough, they always knew that there was something special about you. This is why they did this to begin with. It's an energy where they were essentially threatened by you. Being able to keep you away from this made them feel very powerful. Some of these individuals, picking up on fathers for some of you, may have had success in their life, and these fathers or family members did something to you. I feel by way of some sort of ritual sacrifice, sacrificing your light to some sort of deity for success, right? So the simplest way I can put this is this father wanting success in their life. So they decide to go to some sort of dark magic, black magic, in order to achieve this. And they're told that they need to sacrifice one of their family members. I nearly said loved ones, but I was stopped from saying that because it's almost contradictory to this entire energy. It doesn't even make sense to say that. But whatever the case, this entity, this deity, whatever it is they went to, wanted you, wanted your light, wanted your purpose. It's as if this entity knew what you were going to accomplish in your life. They saw this to be a threat, and they told this family member that if they do things in your life to make sure that you're never able to step into this energy of purpose, your calling essentially, then they would make sure that they always provide to them the success and security that they're trying to manifest into their life. These family members are now having major lack of success in their life. They have businesses, their businesses are falling apart. If they were once wealthy, their wealth is diminishing. The products, the services that they once provided to individuals are no longer in demand. These individuals are becoming obsolete. I'm picking up on a very narcissistic, megalomaniac kind of family member here. Somebody whose whole career defined them. This is also somebody whose worst fear is to be forgotten in the field or sector that they work in. This individual here is going to be one of the first individuals to be sentenced to this karma because this is somebody who's evaded this karma for decades and decades and decades. And they say that most narcissists don't get their karma until later on in life. They leave this life cycle going through karmic retribution, which comes packaged with a one-way ticket to hell. This particular family member never saw this coming. This is a very dark, evil individual. If it's a male, it's like an evil warlock. If it's a female, it's just an evil witch. Somebody who has spread nothing but misery and hate their entire life. A very, very unhealed, broken individual that deserves everything that they have coming to them. This is the kind of person that would throw their own children under the bus for their success. And I feel that this individual did just that. This individual or individuals is going to watch you rise to a level of success that they were never able to achieve, because I feel that where you're going, you are actually going to be remembered. There's something around your communication, your words. Could be something artistic as well. It's just something you do that affects a lot of people or is going to affect a lot of people. You change people's lives based off of the horrors that you've been through in your own life. You have a way of delivering messages of support to people who need it most that may be going through the same karmic cycles that you have graduated on from. You are very much a leader, and no matter where you are in relation to this message, it's only really just begun for you. A couple of years from now, you're going to look back and you're going to be blown away at how far your life has come in such a short period of time. You're going to see that there really is a magic in this world, in this reality, when you align with your calling and allow the divine to guide you through this matrix that we're all living in. You know, you need to understand that you must ask for guidance. You must ask for support and healing from the divine. It doesn't just show up, which took me a while to truly understand, but I think probably the simplest way I can put this is, if you really look at our lives as essentially being birthed into a war zone, right? And the divine is up in the ethers and they're trying to guide us while we're down here, it would make sense that you essentially need to pick up your CB radio and check in with headquarters, right? Which can be seen as prayer, meditation, mantras. Okay, this is how you get these messages. This is how you allow the healing energy to come through for you. You must check in. Okay, so checking in is probably a good term to really frame what I'm trying to deliver to all of you right now. Okay, there's areas of your life that need healing, you need guidance with, you need support with, you need to leave it with God. In other words, God, I need help with this, I need support with this. Just ask. Now, our environments are littered with things that want to keep our vibrations low, want to keep our spirit, mind, and body feeling very lethargic and clouded and in a very low vibrational state. So the things that you can control are going to be what you consume. This is so incredibly important right now, because if you notice worldwide, the quality of the food that we're all consuming, it's as if everything has been tampered with. Because they're going all in, because they know that people are waking up. This has also been a focus on the the zodiac readings, I think for probably, well, for a little while now, at least the past month, our health is so incredibly important because it allows us to be the receiver of these messages, right? We need to keep our vibrations maintained. And the simplest ways we can do this are with our diets, our physical exercise, and meditation. Okay, these are going to be the three main things. These are your weapons. This is how you fight against this energy. As long as you're doing this and you're doing your absolute best, it's just about impossible to be perfect. There's always going to be little hiccups. Don't be hard on yourself. Just get up and keep going. We're always going to get knocked down. Okay, always. That never goes away. You just get up and you keep pushing forward. And this is what I really mean by fighting. Right? That's the energy that we need to fight in our own lives. Just really stay focused on that. Everything outside of that is a distraction that wants to keep us away from being able to be present in the things that are most important in order to receive our downloads, our guidance, our orders from the divine on how we're to move. What do we have? The solar plexus, please. Wow. High Priestess Pisces energy at the solar plexus. And if you know, you know. I'm kind of speechless that this just came out after everything I just said. High Priestess is all related to your intuition and your higher guidance. It's coming right in at the solar plexus, which is all related to your confidence, you standing in your power. Keeping this balance. Mind, body, and spirit. Prayer, meditation, physical activity. These are the things you can control. So this needs to be your focus. What do we have at the heart, please? 5 of Pentacles at the heart. Wow, Taurus energy. These individuals are going to watch you rise, however that shows up for you. They're going to get front row seats whether they like it or not. This is all a part of their karma, witnessing you accomplish everything that they tried to stop you from doing in your life. A lot of you have a really amazing story of hope and overcoming serious darkness in your lives. These individuals are essentially the villains in your story. This is what they've been reduced to. Once being on top, laughing and pointing at you, to now being on the bottom in an energy of poverty, lack, being reduced to the villains in your story that will make you remembered for years and years to come, long after you're gone. What do we have at the throat, please? Wow. The Tower, Aries energy at the throat. See, this is going along with everything I'm saying. So here they are, right? They're being ejected from this sense of false security that they constructed off of your pain. The divine launching them out of this idea of who they thought they were and who they thought you were. I just heard, think again. It's like the war angels have come into these individuals' lives and ripped the rug out from underneath them. 5 of Pentacles followed by the Tower. This is about as bad gets in relation to these energies here. There's this destruction which contains within it a new universe. Right, so it's really the energy of a new timeline where the script is being flipped. Everything is being made right. This path being cleared for you. And there's this flash of inspiration after which nothing can remain the same. I just heard shock and awe. It's going to be undeniable to any of the energies that witness this going down. This is the type of situation that makes people a believer in a higher power, that there's just no other way, that this could have unfolded the way it did unless God was truly working in your life. People are going to have to eat the words, the wickedness that they uttered into the ethers about you. I don't know why, but I'm seeing somebody in my mind's eye right now trying to speak, and they open their mouth and a little squeak comes out. I feel like this could be a mother. There's something going on with her voice or throat chakra. It's almost as if she's entering the early stages of becoming catatonic. I just heard so clearly, if she won't stop spewing that poison into the ethers about you, then they're going to shut her up permanently. Awake, but silenced. Tower at the throat really speaks on exactly what I just said. There's also an energy here about you telling your story, speaking your truth. This is all a part of it. What do we have at the third eye? Boom. Death at the third eye. Scorpio energy. Phoenix rising from the ashes kind of energy. Complete transformation. This is an entirely new beginning for all of you. You're being put on top, being put on the front lines. You're being put in charge, so to speak. I just heard the power is being put into the hands of the people. Revolutionary kind of energy that I'm picking up here. This can speak on multiple levels, your life and what we may be going through, collectively speaking as well, which again is all working in tandem, as above so below kind of energy. Everything that's happening on the collective stage is just the macro version of what's happening in your own life. You know, we're starting to see the evil for what it really is in the world, the people who are supposedly leading us, but now starting to understand that they're pretty much just all leading us to a form of death. They're not doing anything. I just heard, this is a little off topic, but I guess it's relevant in some capacity. We pay taxes to essentially take lives, fund a war, when our taxes should be going to helping families, let's say in Maui. That fact alone, you would think would be enough to cause people to start revolting. But it's just really speaking about how broken the world is and how much we've put up with. This is exactly the same thing in our own individual lives. There's just this misdirection of power and resources. The focus has been on the destruction of you. Humanity. Like I was saying earlier on in the reading, you were sacrificed so somebody else could attain some sort of success in their life. It's all the same. So now I see why they wanted me to speak about what I just said, so I can bring it right back down to what's happening with you. Perfect example, right? Of macro to micro. What do we have at the crown, please? 7 of Cups. Scorpio energy at the crown. Further reiterating the message I just gave. See, this to me, in a reading like this, is representing this matrix, this lie that we've all been living, coming to an end. And it's right underneath the crown chakra. The war angels, spirit, ripping down the veil so you can see the truth. You can see what's actually been taking place. This represents this opposing energy that's been coming against you. You see them for who they truly are now. The illusion is coming to an end. What do we have at the foundation, please? 10 of Cups, fur. Yeah, for a lot of you, this is family. People very close to you who did this. You know, a lot of these individuals that did this to you have yet to address your accusations against them. So what I mean by that is some of you have spoken about this. Maybe you have social media platforms or something, and they've all heard this, but they haven't come forward trying to correct you. They've just essentially buried their head in the sand, which, I mean, doesn't necessarily show their innocence. If you're being accused of something that you're innocent of, wouldn't you be trying to clear your name? Of course, especially if it's a family member accusing you of something that's very wicked in nature. You wouldn't want somebody you loved thinking such horrible things about you. They're just not really sorry is what it comes down to. And what they've done, I feel, is a lot more extreme than you may even think. You have to do a lot to somebody to get to the point where too much has been done to where you can't communicate with somebody again. You would have to have tried to have that individual hurt in some manner. And this is exactly what I've been picking up in this entire reading. It's taken you a really long time to accept this truth. It's a process. Part of that process is blaming yourself as well. Start to question yourself. It's all a part of it. But if you are still feeling that way, you can stop, okay? Because you're not to blame for any of this. You didn't do anything wrong. You really have to understand that you were sent into these individuals' lives for a reason that you may not even be able to fully grasp ever. There's a bigger purpose to all of this. What do we have at the sacral, please? 6 of Cups, Scorpio energy, Fornius at the sacral. Yeah, these individuals are stuck in this cycle of madness now. They're stuck in the cycle of what they've done to you. So they're going to start coming across people who start to do similar to them. It's all a part of this vortex they're now stuck in that mirrors all the horrors that they've brought into this world. These individuals are also losing their identity, losing their legacy. Whatever it is they've built, they're being erased from the history books, so to speak. It really is the energy of being forgotten. These individuals deemed their life more valuable than yours. Parents, family members. It's hard to even grasp the concept of a parent thinking their life is more valuable than their child's. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Oh, wow. The star. Gype. Go ahead and hand over that purpose to me. You won't be needing that. I'm more important than you. Go ahead and give me that divinity so I can sacrifice it to Moloch for these riches and fame. See, the star is an energy of just that, fame, being in the spotlight. But I read this in a negative polarity. So this is what they took from you. Or, well, they tried to. You're being elevated to a level far beyond what you could even begin to imagine at this point. It's only up for you from this point moving forward. You're being repaid with interest 10 times over, probably more. Because what was once you moving into an energy of success is now you being moved into an energy of global influence and success that is going to last the ages. What do we have at the heart, please? Wow. What a powerful energy. Judgment, Belial, famine, and sickness right underneath that Five of Pentacles. So we have the Tower, the Death card, and the Judgment card. 3 of the most powerful energies in the tarot are all here. It's over for these individuals. What they've done is, well, like we channeled through already, it's almost an energy of not being able to face you because the wickedness is so extreme. I wanted to say it's an energy of not being able to be forgiven, but you understand that being on the path you're on, you must forgive no matter what it was, because you understand that judgment is going to work in these individuals' lives to bring forth karmic retribution for you. The forgiveness is really you releasing any of these energetic cords that these individuals are still trying to keep engaged with you. So in other words, when you hold on to these energies and you can't forgive the resentment and the bitterness, you're essentially allowing them to still affect you, okay? And I know that some of these situations are so extreme, and it seems like it's damn near impossible to forgive, but you also need to understand that forgiveness is something you have from within yourself, coming into some sort of union with your higher self and having to sit down, going over everything you've learned and everything you're taking with you in the form of discernment moving forward. That's what forgiveness is. It's not having FaceTime with other individuals. You don't need to do that. But you do need to release this energy from you, because where you're going, this energy can't go. And if you could get a glimpse of what I'm seeing for you right now in my mind's eye, you would start to quickly forget about all the wickedness and darkness that these individuals used against you, because you would start to see the purpose and the bigger meaning to everything you had to go through to get to this point. You would recognize yourself for the warrior that you truly are, because only warriors and the most powerful light workers are put through cycles like this. Then we have Habuhia, Pisces energy, 9 of Cups, healing. So again, further reiterating what I just said, right? Healing from this energy, saying your goodbyes to the past, and running into this new timeline, this new life cycle. It's like you just saw the vision of what I saw for you, and you're like, oh my God, I'm out of here later. I forgive you. I don't care anymore. Whatever. It's fine. I'm out of here. This is also an energy of abundance. It's you entering into this energy of fulfillment and you bringing forth these visions that you have for yourself in your life. This really is the energy of your wishes coming true. Seeing the magic that we have all around us, and understanding that with all that darkness and wickedness comes beauty, purpose, and magic that you now have access to for all your hard work inside the collective, what you've had to overcome. You had to go through this to gain this wisdom. This is what this is all about. It's the simplest way I can put this. That wisdom is invaluable. You can't even put a number to it. It just can't even be measured. Because like I was saying, there's this energy of legacy here. It's something that sticks around for many generations. It's like communities of people, your future generations, however it may look for you, speaking about you. You become this legendary figure, somebody who lived a life of real purpose, somebody who fulfilled their mission. What do we have at the throat, please? Ace of Wands, O male. Aries, Leo, Sag energy right there at the throat. Again, speaking about something creative here for all of you. There's this very inspiring kind of energy. It's like this is representing this wisdom gained. It's an energy of creation, but it's based off of everything you've had to go through. It's like you have this magic that you now have access to. Some of you are healers, I feel. Some of you could work with sorts of medicines and herbs. Some of you could be Reiki masters, or you're going to be. Some of you could be artists, musicians, speakers, podcasts, other tarot readers. Picking up all sorts of stuff here. But there's just an energy where I'm feeling a heightened sense of creativity here. It's very, very powerful. And it's all because of what you've been through here. Tower at the throat. This is an energy of transmutation, taking the pain, turning it into purpose by way of the throat chakra. And it doesn't have to be you verbally speaking this stuff. Creation, communication can be had through paintings, right? But whatever it is, it's represented here, and it's very, very powerful. It's very profound what I'm picking up here. What do we have at the... I think if I let myself, I could probably cry right now. I'm just picking up something very emotional here. Wow, 8 of Swords. Gemini energy. Mi Behel. God, protector and savior. Truth and justice. Protection from enemies who would steal one's fortune. Wow. Right? It's like this family member. I was talking about the father who was trying to sacrifice your purpose to this entity, right? Would steal one's fortune. It's all the same thing. 8 of Swords is an energy of imprisonment. It's like they've been imprisoned, like I was saying, inside this karmic cycle of their wickedness. It's just playing over and over and over. And there's this energy of protection around you. It's like this is a spirit guide reprimanding this person. You're in this energy of freedom and hope. You've been liberated from this energy. You've been released from this karmic cycle. And they're in the opposite. They're now in energy of restriction, feeling very powerless to their circumstances, their environments. An energy of imprisonment. Mental imprisonment, but this could start working down into their actual reality as well. Some of these individuals may find themselves in prison. Just really depends on, obviously, what they did. But for a large group of you out there, it got really bad. What do we have at the Crown, please? Whew, boom. The Chariot, Michael, Cancer energy, who is like God. Perseverance, success in conflict, overcoming adversity. And here you are having victory over these energies. You never gave up. You always had this inner drive to succeed. Even in your darkest hours, you always held on to hope. You always knew that there was that divine tether connected to you. You have nothing but success coming into your life because of everything that you've had to endure up until this point. Keep pushing forward. Keep working on this connection from the divine. The stronger it becomes, the more solidified you're going to become in this new timeline, and the more protection you will have surrounding you. Remember, we must always be in an energy of maintenance. We must always fight for our happiness. See, they want to catch you when you're not paying attention. So it's very important that you remain very focused on the here and now and hold that vision that you're trying to get to in the future. And these individuals are going to have to watch your rise to the top. You're here to build a legacy. Don't allow anybody to try and take that away from you or tell you who you are and who you are not. The war angels have been released. This is the energy that's available to you, depending on where you are on this timeline, should you choose to accept. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading, you can find all of my contact details in the description below this video. And thank you for your donations. Take care.